Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you kind of a feature match, but kind of more of just a one-sided exhibition here to kind of show you some craziness. I've got a lot of requests to show off what New Frontiers CROCOSHARK looks like, so I went ahead and asked Steve. Steve was kind enough to be willing to sit down and essentially be murdered by CROCOSHARK. That's why I call the deck CROCOSHARK Murder. So this is just designed to show you kind of how stupid New Frontiers CROCOSHARK kind of really is with running so many copies of it in the deck. So I'm going to be going first because I won the die roll, and that just gives me an infinitely better chance. Steve is playing a really cool beast deck, a reflect green beast deck that he's modified for Alice Cluster, so we'll be showing that in a future week, but this is just kind of to show what CROCOSHARKs look like. So Kaguya-1 is my ruler, it lets me set face downs for 1. You're going to see my turns go very, very quickly, so that first turn I just set a face down. He plays a Survivor of Sisay, next turn 2 face downs. All of those are CROCOSHARKs. The deck is CROCOSHARKs heavy. And then, so going into Steve's turn, he goes, gets this Beast Memoria. He shows the Kujata. He plays the Kujata, makes his Survivor a little bit stronger. He swings it for 600 and then untaps it just so it doesn't die. But unfortunately for him, I have the Pumpkin Witch in my hand, which is a card, exclusively for New Frontiers. So 3, out comes the Pumpkin Witch, and then 3 CROCOSHARKs come out, and then all 3 of the CROCOSHARKs resolve, and 2 more CROCOSHARKs come out. And then there's 10 in the air, 10 in the air, 10 in the air, 10 in the air, 10 in the air. 5,000 for lethal for game 1. So that's CROCOSHARK Murder. So we're going to go into game 2. There's no transition here because I didn't want to cut off any more value. So decks like this are cute, but unfortunately are pretty dang powerful. Just because of a few key cards. So CROCOSHARK, yeah, you can have a bunch of them in your deck, and that's not, that's fine. That's the whole idea of the deck. But the thing that makes it really strong is the Pumpkin Witch and Kaguya-1. So Kaguya-1 lets you set them for 1 instead of 2. This deck is infinitely slower if you're playing Alice Cluster, just because of the fact that each CROCOSHARK costs you 2 to set down, so you don't get as much value right off the top, right off the cuff. And so it gives your opponent more time to plan and be prepared for it, which means that the combo is probably going to get interrupted a lot more. In Kaguya-1, being able to set face down for 1 cost, it gives your opponent essentially 2 turns to be able to deal with it, especially if you're seeing nothing but CROCOSHARKs in your hand and you see that Pumpkin Witch. They only have 2 turns to set up, and typically if you're on the play, that means they don't even have enough will for an interdimensional escape or something like that. They have to hope they have a sign to the future. And sometimes you're just not going to see that in your opponent. They're not going to be expecting it. The other thing is Pumpkin Witch, just making them all have swiftness and flying, is ridiculous. It's just so much damage right off the bat that's so easy to consistently get. And you can just hard mulligan for it without feeling like you're going to disrupt your combo, because everything is CROCOSHARKs anyway. So we're seeing Steve try to go aggressive here. He's going to go ahead and get 2 more Survivors of Sisay out after his first one, and a Perseus Call to Action, so 1,200 damage. So he's going to go for me. Next turn, 2 more cards face down and just pass, because I'm kind of completely ignoring his board state here. Also like to note that I don't really like playing these kinds of decks. I feel like inherently they just kind of go outside of what the game's supposed to be. But I got a lot of requests to show what it looks like, and it just made me very happy that New Frontiers is not the format we play at AGPs right now. So 4th Survivor comes out, all very strong. So there's 18 damage, plus another pump for 2,000 damage, plus a reflect pump for 2,200. So it takes me down to 600. And he's just hoping that I don't have the Pumpkin Witch so he can kill me next turn, but it doesn't matter because I do. So Croco, 3 more Crocos. The 4th one was just for drama, because only needed 5 of them to be able to do lethal. But there you go. Deck list will be up on Saturday. But until next time, guys, this is DMO73 signing off.